In our last class, we have discussed about DC load line. Now, what we are going to do is, we will be solving some of the problems on DC load line, giving out some values to your resistors and the voltages across your input terminal and output terminal, or your base terminal or your collector terminal, collector to emitter and base to emitter terminal. We will bias and we will give the current limiting resistors to your base terminal and collector terminal, so that we will have the idea of how your DC load line will vary for different values. Okay. Now this is your DC load line. So this is a characteristic graph what I have written, and here what you can see is this is your DC load line. What is DC load line? DC load line is a straight line drawn on the output characteristics. Fine. So this is your output characteristic. We can have multiple imaginary characteristic graphs. Likewise, isn't it? So likewise we have multiple characteristics graph, and what we have to do is, so we have a DC load line. So now here the question is to find the saturation point and cutoff point. To draw a straight line, we need to have at least two lines, right? So this is your saturation point, this is your cutoff point. We have seen this in our previous video, isn't it? Yes. Now this IC saturation point or IC sat, IC will write it as subscript. Okay. So IC saturation point, and this is VC cutoff point. This is your cutoff region. This is a saturation region. Fine. So this is your output characteristics. So how to find out your VCE or cutoff point is to take VCC or VCE is equal to VCC. So we can have this, or else we can have something like this. VCE is equal to VCC. Fine. So VCE is equal to VCC. So this will give you the cutoff point, and your VCE cutoff point will be as that of your collector to emitter bias voltage, isn't it? That is VCC. Okay. So many volts. Fine. Yes. So now how to find your collector current? Collector current IC can be found with this formula. What is that? VCC divided by RB. Fine. VCC divided by RB we have to take. So then we will find out. So sorry, not RB. This is RC. Fine. Okay. Yes. So VCC divided by RC we will find out, and this is how we will find out the collector current or saturation current. So this is your VCC. This is your voltage across collector to emitter terminal, and what is RC? RC is current limiting resistor at the collector terminal, isn't it? Yes. So with this formula I can calculate IC. So many milliamperes of current I can find out, and finally we will have IC and VCE. So both the points we will be pointing out on the output characteristics. So we will get VCE is equal to so many volts and IC equal to so many volts. After that we will mark the points and we will draw a straight line. So this will give you the idea of DC load line. Once the DC load line is found out, I can calculate or I can find out the Q points or operating points. The operating point or Q point is what? It is a point which intersects the characteristic curve with the DC load line. I can have multiple Q points or operating points. What I should choose is the center point or the DC load line center part. I should choose as what? A Q point, because this is very important for proper or faithful amplification. Q point should be at the center of the load line. This is our first condition, isn't it? Yes. So now I will take up a problem on to find different points or saturation point and cutoff point. Okay. Yes. We will see the diagram. The diagram we have seen in our last class. VCC, this is VBB. Okay, so now this is a silicon transistor. What I have taken, this is a collector terminal, base terminal, and this is emitter terminal. This is RB, this is RC, isn't it? Fine? Yes. So now I will give certain values to the resistors and the bias voltage. For example, I will take this as some yes, 4 volts. This is something like 10 kilo ohms. This one I will take it as what? 2 kilo ohms. And this one I will take it as what? 12 volts of voltage. Fine? Yes. So I have taken an NPN transistor of silicon material and all the things I have mentioned over here. This is your base resistor, that is RB, or base terminal current limiting resistor, and this is collector terminal current limiting resistor. So I have taken RB as 10 kilo ohms, RC as 2 kilo ohms, VCC as 12 volts, and VBB as 4 volts. So now according to our formula, we will calculate what is your cutoff point and what is saturation point. So now I will be calculating what is IC saturation. That is equal to what? It is VCC divided by RC. Fine? Yes. And what is cutoff point? What is that? VCE cutoff is what? That is nothing but your VCC. So now according to the circuit diagram, so what you can make out is directly I can make out VCE, isn't it? What is VCE? VC is nothing equal. What is that? It is VCE is equal to what? VCC. How much VCC we have given over here? It is 12 volts, isn't it? Fine. So then VCE cutoff is what? So VCE cutoff is what? It is 12 volts, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So then I will be going for IC. Okay. Now how to calculate IC saturation current is what? It is VCC divided by RC. What is VCC? It is 12 volts. And what is RC? It is 2 kilo ohms, isn't it? It is 12 divided by 2K. 2K is what? It is 12 divided by 2 into 10 power 3, isn't it? Fine. So now it is coming out to be 6 milliamperes, isn't it? Fine. Our VCE cutoff is 12 volts and IC saturation point is what? It is 6 milliamperes. Now I will be drawing the DC load line. So I will be erasing this diagram and we will be going back to the saturation or rather DC load line diagram, wherein I will be going for output characteristics. This is your VCE and this is IC in this direction, and I will have to make out different things. So we will take the values. For example, I will be taking current values. This is for 2 milliamperes, 4, 6. So I will be taking this as 2 milliamperes. This is 4, this is 6, this is 8 milliamperes. If I mention so and so, fine. Yes. So then here in this direction we will see it to some 6 volts, and this is some 12 volts, and this is something like 18 volts if I see. Okay, so now where is our DC load line? Our DC load line IC should be what? 6 milliamperes. This is the point. What is that? This is IC saturation point, isn't it? And where should be your VCE? It should be, or VCE cutoff should be what? At 12 volts. This point is your VCE cutoff. Fine. So now I will be drawing the DC load line. Fine. So this is how we will be finding out the DC load line. So this is your DC load line for a given circuit. Is that okay? Okay? Yes. So now here I have drawn the DC load line. So I have found out saturation point, that is equal to what? It is this is, I haven't written the things over here, isn't it? It is 2 milliamperes. This is 4 milliamperes. This is 6 milliamperes. This is 8 milliamperes. If I have taken, okay, isn't it? So this is 2 milliamperes, 4 milliamperes, 6 milliamperes is this point, and this is 8 milliamperes. So here in this direction I have taken 6 volts, 12 volts, 18 volts. Okay, so this is our cutoff point, this is our saturation point. So I will be drawing the straight line, that is your DC load line. So once I have found the DC load line on the output characteristics, okay, so I can have output characteristics. That output characteristics will be dependent on what? The value of IB or base current, isn't it? According to base current, you will have collector current with the application of proper collector to emitter voltage, and base current will be the product of what? The base VBB or base to emitter voltage, isn't it? That is your VBB. As you increase VBB, IB increases, and according to IB, your IC increases or decreases as per your IB variation, isn't it? And also the collector to emitter voltage provided or bias voltage provided. Okay, yes. So now this is how we have found out the DC load line. If you have different values of VCC and different value of your RC, we will have different saturation point and we will have different cutoff point, isn't it? Okay, so if I vary the value of VCC and if I vary the value of RC, we will have different IC and different VCE or different cutoff point and different saturation points. Okay, so that the DC load line will go somewhere here and here. It may go here and here. So, however, we can have different DC load lines depending on different voltages and resistances. Fine? Yes. After that, we will be going for the Q point selection over the DC load line. Fine? Yes. After this DC load line, the question comes is to find out the Q point. Okay, yes. So I have drawn different output characteristics for different value of your IB, isn't it? This is for IB1, this is for IB2, this is IB3, this is IB4, this is IB5, isn't it? So what is our condition over there? It is IB1 is lesser than IB2 is lesser than IB3 is lesser than IB4 is lesser than IB5, isn't it? Fine? Yes. So after that we will have different Q points. So see here. So this one I will take as what? Q1. This is Q2. This is Q3. This is Q4. This is Q5. Likewise, I can have different Q points or different operating points, isn't it? So I can have different operating points. What is our condition? Our condition is that for proper or faithful amplification, your Q point should be at the center of the load line. So I have to take your Q point to be at the center of the load line, or I should go for what value now? I should go for a value of IB to be IB3. Isn't it? I should take IB3 or base current to make your Q point to come, or characteristic graph to come to this position, and this is our intersection which intersect, or this is your intersection point or Q point which will be deciding the proper center, and this Q point will be very important for us for faithful amplification, isn't it or not? Right? Yes. So if I take this Q point, so then what will be your VCE value and what will be your IC value? So that will decide you what all the values for your VCE, IC and IB. IB is your base current which will decide this characteristic graph. So I have to set your IB to IB3. After that I should vary VCE. As we vary VCE, we will have different collector currents, and the DC load line will be drawing on the output characteristic graph. After the DC load line, so this DC load line cuts the characteristic graph at this point, and I will mark this as what? Q point. After finding out the Q point, I should go for what? VCE. So this should be your VCE and this should be your IC, isn't it? So after setting your IB for IB3, I should set VCE to this value. After that I will be getting the collector current to be what? This value, isn't it? Okay. So after all this setup, so we will be finding out the Q point. So now this is our proper biasing wherein I will be going for, and I will be finding out the Q point. So I can have different Q points. If I set, for example, listen here, if I set your VCE, or if I set IB to base current to IB2 value, or certain milliamperes if I make, or certain microamperes if I make the base current. If I set base current to IB2, right? If I make your base current to IB2 value, so then what will be the thing? So see here, your VC will be somewhat to this value. Okay, so then your IC will be somewhere here. Isn't it or not? Fine? Yes. So then your Q point will be Q4. Is that okay? So I can have Q5 for this value of your VCE and this value of your IC. Isn't it? Likewise, I can have Q2 as our operating point. So wherein I will make your VCE to this value and IC to this value. Is that okay? So likewise, I can have different Q points. So different Q points will help us different operations, and this is your saturation point, this is your cutoff point. We should not go to the edges. Okay, so we should not go to the edges. Our condition is to make your DC load line at the center of the load line, because this is your no signal condition. I haven't given any of the input voltages, isn't it? So if I give certain input voltage to your amplifier circuit for proper amplification, only for your amplifier application, your DC load line should be at the, or your Q point or operating point should be at the center of the load line. Okay, so that is our condition, because for amplifier, so you will be giving an input signal or AC signal to the bias circuit. So then, the input voltage varies from 0 to maximum to 0 and to negative maximum. So if I make somewhere here, so then your collector current, so this will be your input voltage or input current what you will be giving. Fine. So this voltage will mix up with the bias voltage. So what happens is your base current will increase and decrease accordingly. Fine. So then what happens is your Q point or that collector current will go to certain values to maximum here and go to negative values to certain here. So then your proper collector current and the voltages should not go to cutoff and saturation point, wherein your device is going to cut off, or here the device is going to off, isn't it? I shouldn't have any of the obstructions like switching on and off while amplifying. Okay, so this is the thing for proper amplification. For proper amplifier, so Q point and DC load lengths are very important for on-off switch. So it is fine. So I will be giving certain voltage, then your transistor will be on, or circuit will be on, and I won't be giving any of the base current. So then your transistor will be off, isn't it? So then I can use it as one on-off switch. For amplifier, so this is very important to have a proper DC load line and the proper Q point at the center of the load line. Okay. So in our next class we will be going for different biases. So we will be seeing different bias conditions.